So I'm out here working on the Hercules, and I've got the igniter base mounted back on the engine. I had a heck of a time squaring up the points, contacts, make sure they were flat and even with each other. This was kind of froze up. I got that loose, and it's working good. This wire hooks up to the oscillator itself. This guy right here, that mounts here. And as you know, as I showed in earlier videos, well, I'll just show you now. I still got to do the helicoil inserts and try to fix this base before I can mount it up there. Don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll give it a shot. Anyway, so I got that in there, got the points cleaned up. I did check to see if the insulation was still good, insulating the point contacts from the main body here, and I just took an ohm meter and checked that on both sides, and it was good. So I got no short to the base, so that won't prevent it from getting sparked. What I'm doing now, I'm getting ready to lap the valves, and although, you know, they cleaned up pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and lap them. There's just a little bit of stuff, sorry. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right there. So I'm going to lap them, but ran into a snag. When I was a kid in the early 60s, I remember watching my dad lap the valves on our old Gibson tractor with this guy right here, the old hand crank valve lapper. And I dug this out, digging through everything, couldn't remember where it was. And because, I mean, I haven't used this thing in 30 years. Well, anyway, it was stuck. So I had to take this all apart. And as soon as I pulled the covers off, you could smell the old paraffin wax from the old paraffin-based grease Dad had used to lubricate this thing. I mean, it was solid as a rock in there. So I spent an hour cleaning all that out. I got fresh grease in there. And darned if I can find any of the inserts that go in the end here, you know, and are held with that cotter pin. Don't know what happened to them. I remember there was a half a dozen of them on a key ring. All different configurations. In this case, you know, I need a tip that will mate up with these two insets in the top of the valve, and the spacing is 7/8 of an inch on center. These are round. Well, so since I don't have any inserts, I'm making one. I had this old long screw, probably for an old oil bath air cleaner or something like that. So I got it formed around the T-dolly here, and then I'm cutting a piece of 16 gauge in a few minutes here, and I'll weld this to the 16 gauge, and then I'll cut these off to length and round up the ends and make an insert for the valve lapper so I can lap the valves on the Hercules. Of course, I'm using scrap, of course. I think this is going to work. I'll cut it to length and deburr it a little bit, and then put it in the lapping tool. See how it does. Oh yeah, and this thing. I'm really not going to share much of this project. You know, I've got to tear it all apart, rewire the motor, and I don't want anybody getting the idea that I'm an electrician. I'm not. My old man was an electronics mechanic, but it's all I can do to change a light bulb. Anyway, I don't want anybody watching my stuff and then, oh, I'll tear into my grinder and then wind up burning their house down, you know. So I'm not going to be sharing much of that. I'll let you know the progress of it, but I'm not going to get into much detail on this thing. It's just a home shop fix, and right now I'm battling the inner flanges. I got them to spin, but man, they're still stuck on the shaft on both sides. So, yeah, I'm fighting that. Anyway, I'll let you, well, let me finish up this valve lapping tool and then I'll bring you back. Well, it looks a little janky. Let's see if it works. I'm using a Clover abrasive compound. I bought that in the 1970s. I'm going to use the fine because valve is not in too bad a shape. So we're going to give it a shot. I don't know how well this is going to work. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, and I got the compound in the valve seat already. My dad's probably looking down from heaven going, typical Stewart operation. That was one of his favorite sayings. All right, let's see. Well, probably not the best. Not too bad. So, I'm going to lap this for a minute or two and then I'll bring you back. Well, the janky little valve lapper tip worked pretty good. I had a little trouble with it slipping out early on. Then I discovered that those two holes or recesses in the top of the valve were packed with carbon. So once I got all that dug out of there, the legs on the little tip went into the valve recess there a lot farther and gripped much better, and gave me a pretty good valve lap here. We got a good contact surface all the way around. I don't know if you can see it or not. Little shiny strip in the middle there, and there's a corresponding one on the valve seat. In comparison, to the exhaust valve. Of course, I haven't cleaned that up yet. There's a lot of carbon in there, but yeah, that lapped up pretty good. So I'm happy with that. So there you go. More progress on the Hercules, and hey, thanks for watching. And hey, the last couple of days, man, I've almost doubled in size. I got a lot of new subscribers, so I just want to say welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the content. It's a bit eclectic. I try to do something different in the shop, and I got a couple of long-term ongoing projects, this Hercules being one, the contraption being another one, and then all the little stuff in between. So hope you enjoy the content, find it entertaining, find it useful, whatever. And so thanks for joining us. We will see you on the next one.